Congressman.
Were you the special agent in charge?
To show respect
You were not.
for a Secret Service member that died on 9/11.
That you were trying to be.
Do not invoke 9/11 for political purposes.
Oh, I'm not. I'm invoking this.
You are, sir.
Gentlemen,
And you are out of line.
Opinions vary.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Vary. That's Opinions with an A. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we're going to go over this video where things got heated between Representative Pat Fallon and the acting director of the Secret Service, Ronald Rowe, at another committee hearing today, or a congressional hearing about the Trump assassination attempt from Butler, Pennsylvania. We still don't have all the answers yet. We're still trying to figure out what the Secret Service can do better, how they're going to change their protocols. Who knows? Without any further ado, let's just get into this. A very heated exchange. It got out of control. Let's go.
Mr. Fallon from Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for the work that you and Ranking Member Rowe and the rest of the committee has done, and certainly our staff. Mr. Rowe, would you agree that the protection that President Trump was provided on the 13th of July was wholly and tragically negligent? The site plan was abysmal to the point of derelict. And on the 13th of July in Butler, Pennsylvania, the United States Secret Service not only failed President Trump, but Corey Comparatori and the American people in historic fashion.
I would.
In the months leading up to July 13th, who was the director of the Secret Service?
Kimberly Cheadle.
Okay. Other than former Director Cheadle, who was the most senior Secret Service agent?
In the agency? Mm-hmm. That would be me. I was the deputy director.
In the months leading up to the July of 24, were you made aware of highly credible intelligence that a serious and grave threat to President Trump's life from an adversarial nation state? There was a very serious threat.
In this open setting, Congressman, I can't discuss what I was or was not aware of.
Well,
they never answer questions. There's always an excuse why they can't answer questions. You ever notice that in these hearings? It's infuriating.
Director Cheadle said she was aware. So I would imagine, by extension, you were aware.
You
said in open session that
I would point to Director Cheadle's.
All right, so you were aware. So we have a unique circumstance here.
Answer the question.
A former president of the United States, who is the leading candidate at that time to be the next president of the United States, and he will be now that we know. And he was being threatened by a foreign nefarious nation state because of actions he took while he was president of the United States. Very unique circumstances. So, being that you were aware of these unique circumstances, did President Trump, was he provided a security detail akin to what a sitting president would receive?
At that time, he was not.
He was not.
Why not? And anyway, who's the guy? Who's the guy with the glasses on over his right shoulder? What's going on? All right, let's go.
Would you agree that if there was a counter-surveillance unit there in Butler on the 13th, he would have been safer?
I think if there was a counter-surveillance unit advance that was on the ground, it could have aided the advance team in identifying the AGO.
So he would have been safer? President Trump would have been safer? Yeah, okay. I don't think this would have even occurred, but be that as it may, did the president's detail request a CSU, to your knowledge?
I'm not aware of a request for CSU.
Now, was the threat from the nefarious...
That's not the answer to the question. You're not aware. It's a yes or no. It's a yes or no. Not that you're not aware. Answer yes or no. You should know by now if it's yes or no.
...nation state disseminated to agents in the field and in the protective details?
I'm just pausing, Congressman, because I'm trying to walk a tightrope here in an open setting.
No, you're not. You're trying to hide information.
What I can tell you is that the Secret Service provided assets on that day for a particular...
What I can tell you, sir, is that the folks that are whistleblowing and informing some members of Congress say that they were not aware of this threat. And that's what I'm getting at with being proactive and showing leadership is we know for a fact that there was no CSU in Butler. Was there a full CAT team there?
There was not.
No. A full CAT team, 6 members, and there were 2 there. So you knew of the threat. You didn't disseminate to the field and the protective details. You didn't. President Trump didn't have a protection that was akin to a sitting president. He didn't have the CSU. He had only the third of the CAT team. So that's that kind of ineptitude and inaction and complacency and neglect that really, quite frankly, is as telling as it is chilling. And had it not been for a very blessed, fortuitous happenstance of a perfectly timed turn of a head, President Trump would have lost his life that day. Now, this is another thing that concerns me. We report to our constituents. And instead of really after this happened, did you go the next day to Butler, Pennsylvania on the 14th of July?
I did not.
Okay. Did you go that week?
I did not.
The FBI held that site secure for 5 days as an active crime scene, and they released it back to the owners on the 18th, and you did not visit. And when did you finally visit the site?
I visited about a day after I was appointed.
So July 24th? Cheadle came in July 22nd. She got skewered and roasted by the Democrats and Republicans on the Oversight Committee, of which I sit on. She resigned the next day, and then only that day did you go.
I'll take your word for it, Congressman.
Why'd you wait 9 days? 11 days?
Why did I wait 9 days?
Director of the FBI went to the site.
Why'd you wait?
Congressman, I think I was appointed July 23rd, and I was there on the 24th or 25th.
But you were
we
the
heard you the
second
first time.
most senior member of the Secret Service. You could have gone.
And I was managing from here the crisis. We actually...
Guys, he was working from home. A lot of people in the federal government apparently do that. He was working from home those 9 days.
So you didn't go.
Dispatch.
Got it. Did you call the,
You can tell he's about to boil over.
you were managing the crisis you just said. Did you call the detail that night on July 13th that was protecting President Trump?
On that night, they were operational, sir.
You did not. Okay. Did
I
you call him the
not.
next day?
No, I did not.
Okay. When did you finally talk to him?
I spoke to them when they arrived in Milwaukee.
So 4 days later, July 17th. Does that sound about right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you waited 4 days. And when we were talking earlier, a couple months ago, this is an epic failure. We all agree on that. And instead of really focusing on the egregious errors and correcting the incompetence and improving the doctrine and changing the culture, there was a massive appropriations request. We know that you have 8,000 employees. We know that they have a $3.1 billion budget, and you asked for $2 billion
3.1 billion
additional dollars. What sticks in our
and they asked for 2 billion more.
craw is when we report to our constituents, we have to say, hey, this federal agency failed epically, and then they wanted to almost double their budget. How much would it have cost to put somebody on that water tower? How much would it have cost to have drones that were actually functioning
It's not my video, guys. It's the video from the it's the original video. Sorry about that.
that day? How much would it have taken to where your anti-drone technology would have worked? How much would it have cost to do a walkthrough with local law enforcement to secure the AGF site, or put cameras on that roof, or put agents on that roof, or have your snipers have iPads, or have one command post instead of two, or cordon off the damn AGR complex, 17 acres? That wouldn't have cost $2 billion. And in fact, with caution tape, signs, posts, and stakes, it would have run about $410 because we ran through it. Let's add another zero. Say it's $4 grand. It's not $2 billion. So I got another question for you.
The guy with the glasses is killing me.
You recognize this photo?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Was that the remembrance of September 11th?
It was.
Was it in New York?
It was at Ground Zero.
Okay. Who's usually at an event like this closest to the President of the United States, security-wise?
The sack of the detail.
Special agent in charge of the detail. Were you the special agent in charge of the detail that day?
Actually, let me address this. Could you?
He's needling him now, and now Rowe has had it. He's had it. He's already had it. He's ready to go, and I think Fallon is really almost toying with him at this point, and Rowe's going to explode.
Could you please, staff, leave that? Oh, no, leave that one up with the circle around me. Thank you. So actually, Congressman, what you're not seeing is the sack of the detail out of the picture's view. And
Why isn't he closest? Was he closest? I don't know.
that is the day where we remember the more than 3,000 people that have died on 9/11. I actually responded to Ground Zero.
All right, so now he's getting into, his resume, and I'll get into mine. I was at Ground Zero countless times. I was a New York City police officer at the time. I can't stand when people do this. He's trying to deflect from his utter and total incompetence right now. And he's now, going with his resume that I was there, and since you weren't, you have no right to question me, which is a bunch of nonsense, which is just nonsense.
I was there going through the ashes of the World Trade Center. Mm-hmm. I was there at Fresh Kills.
I'm not asking you that.
I was
I'm asking
there,
you if
Congressman.
were you the special agent in charge?
To show respect
You were not.
for a Secret
that's
Service
a bunch of
member
horse hockey.
that died on 9/11.
You're trying to be.
Wait, what
not
did he say? A
invoke
bunch of
9/11
what?
for
Hold on, I got to
political
hear that again.
World Trade Center. Mm-hmm. I was there at Freshkills.
I'm not asking you
I
that.
was
I'm asking
there,
you if you were
Congressman.
the same. Were
I
you
was
the special
there
agent in charge?
to show respect
You were not.
for a Secret
Oh, that's
Service
a bunch of
member
horse hockey.
that died
Horse
on
hockey?
9/11.
That you were trying to be.
Do not invoke 9/11 for political purposes.
Oh, that I'm not. I'm invoking this.
You are, sir,
Gentlemen,
and you are out of
Gentlemen,
line.
I would like to ask him a
What he's trying to do is say how just completely just incompetent you are, just pretty much 100% of the time. But in true Washington, D.C. fashion, Ronald Rowe, he was second in charge at the Secret Service when this assassination attempt happened. He's obviously, you're hearing just now in this very limited questioning that he was completely incompetent the whole time through, and he's now the acting director. So Washington, D.C. is where you go, as I said before, you go to fail up. That's it. You just go to fail up, and this is why we need Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to come in and get rid of people like this, Ronald Rowe, who's just forever just a lifer who just will never be disciplined, doesn't really know how to discipline anybody, and the incompetence, just the culture of incompetence just goes through the entire agency. And I feel bad for the 99% of the great Secret Service agents that are trying to do their job, and their leadership is just completely awful, and it needs to change, and it needs to change January 20th.
Please.
You are
Order.
out of line,
Don't try to
Congressman.
bully me. Don't
Way
try
out
to
of
bully
line.
me. I am an elected member of Congress, and I'm asking you a serious question, and you are
I
playing
am a
politics.
public servant who has served this nation and
You
spent
won't answer
time
the question.
on our day, on our country's
Here we
darkest
go
day.
with the
Do
resume
not
again.
politicize it.
Committee will come to order.
I'm asking you serious questions for the American people, and they're very simple. They're not trick questions. Were you the special agent in charge that
No,
day?
I wasn't. I was there
Oh, no,
representing
Mr.
the
Chairman,
United
I'm
States
just
Secret
asking you yes or
Service,
no.
sir.
Mr. Fallon, your
and
time's
did not
expired.
affect protective
Fallon,
You know
operations.
why you were
Time's
there?
expired.
Because you wanted to be visible, because you are auditioning for this
I was
job.
there to
that
pay
you're not gonna
respect for a
get
fallen
till
member of
January
this
20th.
agency.
You endangered
You are
President
out of line,
Biden's life,
Congressman.
Vice President
You are out of
Harris's
line.
life, because you put those agents out of position.
Mr.
Did you have a
Chairman.
radio with
Mr.
you?
Fallon,
Did
your
you wear a
time
vest?
has
Did you have a
expired.
weapon?
Mr.
No.
I did, sir, and you are out of line.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, he's saying, do you have a radio? You're that close. You're the one closest to the president, the vice president, the former president who's in position to be the next president. You're the closest one. Did you have the equipment you needed with you? You weren't the one in charge. Why are you in that photo? Why are you that close? Because you're a grandstander. You want, this is the whole thing. It's really amazing what we are paying for as taxpayers. The service we're getting is just not satisfactory all around. And that is something that, and Ramaswamy and Elon Musk were up on Capitol Hill today, and they were meeting with members of Congress, and I hope they were putting them on notice. Like, I don't care what party you're in. If you're wasting money, if you're one of these people who just thinks you're here, as a free-for-all to take money that's not yours, that's my money, and you watching your money, and to do what you want and to use it to further your career and your lifestyle, party's over. That's it. Party's over. So this is just a small example, and it was just, you see Rowe, he explodes, and I think Fallon knew at that point he was like driving in the final stake at that point, and Rowe just wasn't going to have it, so he started deflecting to his resume. I was at ground zero. I can't stand that. It drives me nuts. So tell me what you guys think in the comments. Who do you think was out of line here? Was Rowe out of line, or do you think Fallon went a little over the edge on him? Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on X. Both at Opinions Vary. I appreciate you watching. Continue following me here at Opinions Vary.
Opinions vary.